Okay, Sicha Tesvav, number 15. Amar Shehu Chochma. Yeah, Tesvav. Amar Shehu Chochma ve'Malach Gadol Lios Kimo Behema. He said it's a great Chochma and work. It takes a lot of effort to be like an animal. Should be like an animal. What does that mean? We had this before. I don't know if somebody remembers a different lesson. It says in Shmos that all that Hashem gives Chochma in a behema. Hainu shu Chochma lasos atzma kebehema. It's a Chochma to be like a behema. What does that mean? Like the rabbi say in Chulin al pasuk, Adam a behema toshi Hashem. Man and animal toshi Hashem. Hashem saves. Elu b'nei Adam sharumim bedas. They're like naked in das musim and atzman kebehema. They make themselves humble like a behema. So like a behema is very humble. A behema is not thinking about kavod and everything. So when it means that a person should make themselves like a behema, it means very humble. Kamosh Amar Asaf, like Asaf says, Vani be'er velo eda behemos haisi imach. He says, right, I didn't know anything, I was like a behema among you. He's talking about my knowledge, my das of it's basically he's saying how he's humble. Ein makom. Acher means I look somewhere else for this. So the bottom, I mean mine I have a different sefer. So it brings down the Ikar Emunah hu b'ma she'ena seichel mevin. B'ma she'mevinim b'seichel ein shayach Emunah. That real Emunah is when a person doesn't know. I've heard someone else say it differently, that Emunah starts where logic ends. Right? It's not a logical thing. Logically, it's not logical that if I give more tzedakah, I'll become wealthy. That's not logical that you give money away, you make money. That's Emunah. When we give meiser, it's Emunah that we make more money. It's not logical that if I stop working for 24 hours straight or 26 hours straight, it's not logical that my business will do better. Yeah. But that's Emunah. So Emunah starts where logic ends. We put away our das like a behema. We act like a behema that we have no das. That's what he's talking about also. Okay, so that's 15. Any questions?
It's funny because it seems like nowadays it's pretty easy to act like a behema. The whole world is. We're not talking about that. Knowledge.
Knowledge, yeah. Being humble.
Like, the other thing we learned last time was also about that, to renew every day. Was the last thing we talked about?
No, there's other things more. I don't want to get into it. It's very complicated. Yeah. It was the knowing nothing that you don't know. Right. Yeah, not for now. Sicha Tez Zayin. Isaac, you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Da Shichon Letzog B'Kol. Okay, so this is a famous lesson. It's brought in other places too. He says, "Da, you should know Shichon Letzog B'Kol Dimama Daka, that you can cry out in a silent, small call. Silent. This is called the silent scream. Gedol me'od v'lo yishma shum adam klal, and not anyone can hear it. There's a concept Rebbe Nachman has of a silent scream. Ke'ena motzi shum kol klal, you don't bring out any voice at all. No one can hear it. Rak ha'ta'aka hi b'kol dimamadaka, only the scream is a very silent, small voice. And every person is able to do this. That you think in your mind. You think in your mind about a scream that you want to have, that you just want to scream out. And this voice or the sound of your scream goes into your thought. And you really imagine what a scream sounds. If I would be screaming now, you're imagining to yourself what that sounds like in your head. With the niggin, with the song, with the sound of people crying out. So you do this until it enters into your head like a real scream, as if you're screaming, but no one can hear. Because really there's no form at all, only a cry, only a scream that you shouldn't think about. Oh, he doesn't say it yet, but he's going to say you don't think words, just a voice, just a loud scream. Now don't don't think things like save me or who knows what else the person might scream to Hashem. Just the scream. Because we know a lot of times some people just need to get out a good scream, right? Sometimes scream in your pillow, people say, or in your car. So sometimes if you're among a lot of people, you just have to scream out, cry out, whether it's to Hashem or to yourself or whatever it is. You can also do this, a silent scream. Kiyesh samphonos beria shemasham yotze kol, because there are nerves in the lungs, and from those nerves the kol comes out. V'gam yesh samphonos dake miyotze minaria elamoach, and there's also nerves that go from the lungs to the brain. Okay, there's nerves that go from the lungs to the brain. So he's saying basically you can bypass that.
So it's not an actual scream?
It's not an actual scream, it's in your head, yeah. Because your brain hears you screaming, and also your lungs are screaming. So he's saying bypass the lungs and just think about the scream. So you can also enter the kol into that pathway from the nerves that go to the brain until there's really a scream going on in your head, in your brain. What a person imagines. Kol tza'aka mamish, imagine the voice of the scream. Shebezehu machnis kol tza'aka lamoach, this that a person brings a scream to his brain. So by doing this, by learning how to do this, training yourself to do this, so you could be standing among many people and screaming out, v'lo yishma, and they won't hear at all. It's possible sometimes, though, once you get good at this, sometimes a sound might escape a little bit. Because since the sound is going through the nerves to your brain, so you're bypassing your lungs, but you're going to your brain, and you're really thinking about this voice, this crying out, this scream that you're doing. So a little sound might come out, but don't worry, it'll be very small. Okay, but so this is the silent scream. He doesn't say that it's a prayer. He doesn't say what the purpose is, but he talks about it. I don't know, anyone done this? You done this before?
I've done it before.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So what, do you know what's the purpose? What?
Oh yeah, it's like speak from, well, not really speaking, well, just to let go of whatever you have within yourself, and you do it in a silent form where you might be around a crowd of people, or there might be people around, and you really do not want to cause a scene by really screaming at the top of your lungs. So you do it discreetly, and
Right.
yeah, just keep it to yourself.
So it helps get things out without really getting it out to other people here.
Some people just need to scream.
Right, some people just
Silent
need.
doesn't work for them.
Well, he's saying it
I
well.
mean, if you can scream at the top of
For
your lungs,
everybody?
even better.
But Isaac, what
He's
he's
saying
like a
it's a concept.
one-size-fits-all?
Try it. That's
Isaac,
what he's saying.
like the same feeling you have in your brain when you actually do scream. Just take the physical part out and
Exactly.
just so that your brain, it's like the
Isn't it
same
possible?
thing. It is possible.
It is
Anything's
possible.
Try it. It's all in your head.
No, but
You hear that word? It's all in your head.
Ruben, it could be looked at as
do it
two
right
ways
now.
I've heard it explained. One is like
Like
stress
what?
relief. You know, like you have the train and you pull whatever, and the steam comes out of.
Right.
So you're just getting it out in whatever situation. Another way is you look at a shofar on Rosh Hashanah. It's like the epitome of the entire year, the pinnacle of everything. And what is this make? The only thing we can get out is just this sound.
Yeah.
Like there's no words left.
Right.
It's the last thing we could do. The king is here. We're crowning the king, and the only thing we could say is, like, there's no words left at that point. And so it's like, it's beyond words.
It doesn't happen very often that you want to scream.
Right.
Well,
Hopefully.
I
Hopefully.
hope so.
Hopefully.
Doing good.
It's a major feeling. Like
sometimes
I
you
would
wanna
think
speak
if
for
I'm
good
in
things.
Costco and I can't get out of place. I was telling someone today, I don't like Costco. I don't like Walmart. There's too many crowds of people.
Right.
So I just don't go to those places.
Right.
that's where
Like
the cheap stuff
Brandsmart,
is.
I can't go to those places.
That's where the cheap
But I guess maybe if I would go, I would feel like screaming. But I guess.
I'm sure having it work,
Okay, fine,
some
traffic
things
in
just
Miami.
didn't go right.
Traffic
Somebody
out.
didn't
Well,
get
you gotta mentally let go besides
Right.
screaming. There's
Right.
other ways to do something besides, you know, it's a frustration maybe.
Right,
Of course.
right. 'Cause it was
I'm
also-
sure it says other ways that you can let go of a frustration.
This is one way.
But
Right.
it's not also just a stress relief or me between you. It's also a great way of communicating your stress or whatever frustration you have with God. Because sometimes you don't know what the words to say, or something's not. Somebody's got down for a reason in their life, or something really good also.
Right. That's
You
why
know,
they say
sometimes what am I
silent
gonna
is
say to
golden.
God? Yeah, exactly.
Silent is golden as times is also.
You know, I might even say that you don't necessarily have to scream for something bad. You can sometimes scream for something good, which
Just emotion, yeah.
is possible.
You go to a concert, a guy comes out, like, what is he screaming about?
It's excited.
Excited, yeah, why not?
Therapists always
scream,
say, like,
right?
either go to a car or go to a sports game, and scream, say whatever you want.
Yeah.
Nobody's even gonna know you're screaming about something
Yeah.
else.
Yeah.
Just get out whatever frustration you
Yeah.
need here.
Right. So again, like I said, below dibur, he says without words. Hainu kishein motzin shum dibur b'shas etzaga nizkal el. Like we said, when you're thinking about the scream in your head, don't think about words. Just Let's all try it together. No, I'm just kidding. Kol yoser litzog kanal. So this more about the kal yoser litzog kanal. So it's very easy. Saying it's much easier just to think of a scream than to think about you screaming words. He's saying it's much, if you try and think in your head you're screaming words, he's saying it's going to be a lot harder. Because when you need to bring out dibur words also, it's much harder for your thoughts to grab onto. It's harder to fight yourself not to let it out in a real voice. Okay, so if you're thinking in your head, trying to picture that you're screaming, but you're also picturing words that you're saying, it's harder to control your mouth and your lungs from bringing that words out, is what he's saying about below dibur kal yoser. But just thinking about a sound, screaming sound without words, that's much easier. Okay, that's the end of 16.